So I'm going to show you how to make a Google site website. So first, let's look at the website I already made. So you can see some of the options. So I've got my name up here. Um, these are the different pages. So on the home page, I put a picture of the school, a little message from me, a little about me, school's mission statement, student learner outcomes, and down here at the bottom, I have my email address. If you go to the individual class pages, I tried to put everything on here that a kid would need to be successful in the class. So I've got my Bitmoji classroom. This Bitmoji classroom is interactive, so if I click on the kitty, does a little flip. If I click on the laptop right here, it will actually take me to the kids' portal for their homework. I have the weekly agenda, and then I'm going to have past week agendas over here later on. But if I were to click on this, I can see what we're doing on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then if the kids, wanted to go back to the main slide, they could. Some people make this super interactive where they'll have like a bookshelf with each of the books that they're reading in their English class. When you click on it, it'll be like a narration of like a particular chapter or something like that, or like a prompt. So that's kind of neat. Below that, I have a button that goes to the Google Drive folder for my Algebra 2 materials. Below that, I have a button that will take them to my class assignments. So what that is just an Excel spreadsheet. Well, not an Excel spreadsheet, but a spreadsheet that I made in Google. So it links to this guy. And then when I update this in my Google Drive, it automatically will update on the students page here. So they can check out, all of their assignments for the year. If they needed to access the note packets or videos, they can go here and it takes them to the Google Drive folder where it has my first 3 chapter and also my assignments. So kind of redundant. I put the assignments in multiple places. And then this is a Google Doc that's instructions on how to use the online portal. And then I have this drop-down menu for course policy, and you can see there's a lot of information in there. Same with class supplies. And then at the bottom here, I have the virtual meeting expectations and etiquette. This is just an image, so I actually made this in a Google Doc, but I didn't want to link it. I wanted it to be an image so I could make it larger. And then at the bottom, there's my email address again. Honors class kind of looks pretty much the same. Going to have almost the exact same layout, same stuff. And then I have office hours, and inside office hours, there's a Google form. And the Google form lets kids sign up. And what's cool about this Google form is they can actually pick like a date to come in for an appointment. They can tell me why they want to come in. And then this sends an alert to my email so I know when a kid's requesting to come in, what the reason is, and what the date is that they want to come in. I have a page for the school district policies, homework policy, late and absent work, academic integrity, student behavior. I have the consent form, so one for parents, one for students. It just basically says that they've read my course policies, do they agree with it? And then the very last tab, I'm only really going to use in the beginning of the year, but it helps to have the instructions for how to join Remind 101 anytime I get a new student sign up. So basically, Remind 101 is an app where it allows me to send text message to the students. So I just have in here the sign up codes for each period. Pretty simple, but that way anyone can reference it at any time. So that's my website. Let's talk about how you can build your own. So let me close out a couple of things here. And I'm going to go to Google Drive. Now, you have 2 options. You can click up here and go to Sites, or you can click New, go to More, and pick Sites. It'll take you to the same place either way. Now, I was really lucky in that our site IT person put together a template for my website that looks like this. So it's in presentation mode right now. I'm going to exit presentation mode to explain some of the features. Okay, so this is how it looks when you're building it. You can insert different objects like a text box, an image, an embedded link. You can do different layouts. You can also add collapsible text, table of contents, all these things. And then if you want to see the actual pages themselves, those are here. So you could add pages. And then you have different themes, so you have different styles that you can pick from. So the big one being insert, because you're going to add stuff. So basically each of these things is its own section. So this is a text box that I added by clicking that. So you can, you can edit in a lot of stuff. So if I just click text box, you can see it just popped up right there. I can duplicate it, I can select different backgrounds, and I can delete the section, which I'm going to do because I don't want to change my actual website. So let's look at the Untitled one that I just opened. It looks pretty boring, not fun. So enter site name, that's where I put my last name. You can enter a title page. You can pick different header types, so you can do large banner, small banner, just the title, it's up to you. And then the way that you change this is you can either upload or you can select an image. So I'm going to click select. There's a gallery of different options. So I can pick something from here. So it'll look like that. I can also upload an image if I have something really specific saved on my computer that I like. I can also do a search, a Google search for something like whiteboard or whatnot, and then maybe I like one of these images instead. So that's another option. Maybe I want it to be that. Well, that didn't come up very well, so let's change that. Okay, so if I change the header type, you can see it a little bit better. So you can click on this, you can change your title. Now you can add stuff by clicking over here. So I can add a text box, and you see a text box appeared. Collapsible text is cool, just because if you have a lot of text, like my course policy was really long, I can add course policies, and then what happens is this little down box pops up, and you can type in here a whole bunch of stuff, and it's now collapsible so that people don't have to look at it when they don't want to access it. So that I like that one. If you just want a text box where the text is just always present, you would just click the first option up here. So you can add stuff in pieces. You can also add an entire layout. So if I want a picture plus text, this now allows me to do that. And then here I can upload, I can add a calendar, I can add a YouTube video, I can edit my text. A couple other things that I have added on my page. So I can add a Google Doc by clicking here. And so it'll appear here, and then you can grab this and resize it any way that you want. Of course, it doesn't want to let me resize right now. Hold on, let's put it right here. Okay, so you can just kind of move stuff around. You can even like swap the order of things. So see, I now moved it so that's on top. I can put this over here. It's really like drag and drop. It's almost like an iPad where you pinch to go in and you spread your fingers to zoom out. It's pretty user friendly. So closing this, what else? Let's do this guy, and I want to add. So in some sections I have forms. So if I click forms, this is pulling up my drive, my most recent items. Maybe I want to add my office hours. I can click insert, or I can plop it in there. So it's insert. There it is. I can put that here if I want it. So you see you can move things around. It's really neat. And then my Bitmoji classroom was a slide. So I want to click slide, and I want to add slides. Here's my honors class Bitmoji classroom. So there it is, just double clicked on it. And then I can make it bigger if I want. I can move it around and put it at the top of the page if I want, up here. It's totally up to you. These are just all the pieces. And then, so for pages, right now I just have this one home page. So I can duplicate, I can add a sub page. So a sub page would be a page that this one's going to link to. So I can duplicate this if I want. I can give it a custom path. So there's the copy of the home page. And then, of course, I can click on stuff, I can delete it if I don't want it. You can move stuff around just by dragging and dropping. Let's see what else. You'd want to title this. Don't forget to title it. And yeah, this is kind of, I mean, what the big piece is building all your components before you add them. So building your office hours pages before you add them, building your Google Classroom before you add them. And again, this was the layout of mine. My home page was mostly text. And then I inserted some images, pretty plain. The class pages are where I have the most stuff. So I have this right here is slides that I built ahead of time. These two are actually buttons. So you do a button and then you can put a link. So when they click on this, it goes to that link. This was a Google Doc that I dropped in there. These are all text boxes, which I used this to add. These are those cool drop-down collapsible texts. So that's this button right here. And then I literally copied and pasted my course policy into here. You can do different stuff to the text like you normally would, bold, italic. You can make a bullet list. It's up to you. And you can also change the type of text. So this is normal text, whereas this is a subheading, which you can see right there. So class supplies is also a drop-down menu. Inside the drop-down menu, this guy actually is a link to a Google form because I want the kids to be able to print out and give to their parents the information about graphing calculators, because they always go to the store and they always get confused as to which one to buy. This was actually a, let's see here. This was a Google Doc. And I didn't like how it looked when I dropped it in here because it had this kind of appearance to it where you couldn't actually read it. So what I did in the Google Doc is I took a screenshot of the text so that it was in an image. So this is actually an image right here that I uploaded from my computer. And then I just added at the bottom, you can edit a footer. So this shows up on every page, my contact info. And again, this form I made ahead of time. So this page, all I had to edit on this entire page was the title. I had to change the image. And then I just dropped this form in here by clicking forms right there. Same thing for my consent form. So my consent forms, I needed to change my image up here and the title. And then I dropped two forms in, one for parent and one for student. For the policies, these are all just very simple text boxes. That's all these are. So I changed the image up here and the title, and then I made 4 text boxes. Super simple. For the Remind 101, I changed the image. And then I added a text box that basically said what this page was for, text box for each of the periods, and this is an image. I went to Remind 101 and I made a screenshot of the instructions for each period, and I dropped them in using images. So yeah, I hope this is helpful. When you're done, you can preview what your site looks like to the students by clicking this button. And if you haven't already, watch my previous videos on how to make a Google form, how to make an emoji classroom, and how to use Remind 101. And then you'll have all those resources prepared so that when you go to build this website, it'll all be done. The other thing I was going to mention is if you would like a copy of my website so that you can just edit all of these little pieces. So you could come in here and you could edit this. We can mark it as homepage. We could change the title of it by clicking on properties. It's all up to you. Just send me an email. My email address is right here, dalm@srvusd.net. I also have another Google site that was a template that was shared with me by a friend who made it for one of the teachers in my department. So I could share it as well. Just waiting for this to open. Let me find that video. Let's find this. There we go. So it's right here. So this is a cute one that was made by a teacher, and the goal of this one was to have what they were doing each day be each of the individual tabs. So you'd have a course policy, and then you'd click on each of the pages, and you have office hours, and then Monday, here are the lessons. Maybe here's a link to the drive, here's a video, here's a link to that particular textbook used for that. Here's another video. And then the kids can just access all of this. And this isn't completely done, but you could again use this template if you wanted. You could just send me an email and I can send you this template as well. The very last step when you're done with designing your page is you need to publish it. So mine's already published, but hence why I got this error message. But let's make one little change. Let's do that. So now when I go to click publish, what's going to show me is my draft and what's currently published. So you can see the difference right there. So then I can click publish here and it's publishing. So anytime you make changes, you're going to want to review and then publish. So that's this guy right there. Or you can just click publish. Does the same thing. So publish and I'm done. The first time you do it, it will ask you to add a name in there for your direct link to your site. But after that, you're just going to be republishing if you've made any edits.